Alright, you bunch of COPPA twats, cut the shit and listen up. This video is not made for kids, but for a general audience, meaning teens, adults, and seniors can also enjoy this video. With that in mind, please enjoy. And mostly bite me. The island of Sodor is the home of the Northwestern Railway. With engines of all shapes and sizes, working hard to deliver goods and passengers to their destinations. There are branch lines that run along the coast of the island, serving the docks, the fishing villages, and the seaside towns. There are branch lines that run to the farms, quarries, and ancient castles of the island's heartlands. And there is the main line, which runs all the way from Tidmouth on the west coast of the island and over the Vickerstown Bridge in the east, where it continues to the mainland into Barrow-in-Furness and beyond. On the island of Sodor, everyone was cleaning up the last of the damage done from the hurricane. And just in the nick of time, too, for the winter holiday. At the end of the day, the Arlesdale engines had just finished up cleaning their side of the mess, which somehow made Bert feel a little nostalgic. You know, lads, today clearing up all the branches within the woods reminded me of my old line before I met Rex. That being my father's estate railway, the Duffield Bank Railway.
The Dove Bank Railway? What is that railway? I know I've known you and Rex from the other miniature gauge railway we've worked on for a year.
Oh, that's great! Go ahead, Bert. Tell the others about your life before the Arlesdale Railway.
Very well, then. The year was 1874, in Duffield, Derbyshire, on the mainland. There was a miniature gauge railway built by my father, Sir Arthur Percival Haywood, who also built me and 3 other engines on the railway. My cousins, Effie and Ella, and my sister, Mariel, who you may know eventually got renamed to River Ert later on. And much like my sister back then, I was quite a different engine with a different name. I was a small boxy tank engine named Michael. Out of all the 4 of us, Mariel was quite the adventurer, visiting other miniature gauge railways, whilst I stayed behind with my cousins, a timid engine back then.
You know, Michael, your sister Mariel has paid a visit to a few other railways outside this one. Why not do a little exploring yourself?
Oh, I don't know, Father Haywood. I'm such a small engine, and the world is such a vast, colossal place. I don't know everything about it. I'm such a shy steamer.
As does Mariel, but that never stopped her after her first trip out. Now she wanted to do more diverse activities outside the railway. Look, Michael, I know change can be scary. There's lots of unfamiliar things out in new environments. But much like Darwin's study of evolution, we can learn to adjust and try something new. Worst case scenario, something bad happens to me or this railway, and we move to another location. But there's one thing you should always remember. As long as there's someone out there who cares about you, you'll always find home, no matter the changes along the way.
Those were some wise words my father gave me. And one sorrow day in 1916, I had to take his word when one of the employees of the railway walked up with somber news.
Everyone, I'm afraid I deposit somber news. Sir Arthur Heywood has passed away. Without him, there is no use for this railway.
Father? Gone? What's gonna happen to all of us?
I found a railway in Ravenglass, but they can only afford 2 engines. So I've decided Muriel and Katie to go there. Michael, you're needed on another railway.
I was distraught to be parting ways from my siblings. By the time I arrived to add the new railway, I felt quite lonely until I was introduced to the new manager.
Hello there. You must be Michael. Yes?
Yes, that is correct, sir.
Well, we're quite happy to have you here, Michael. I'm really sorry to hear about the passing of your builder and the abandonment of your railway. But rest assured, you're in good hands of this railway. Will take good care of you.
He accompanied me in my cab, as well as some workmen and coaches accompanying me too. I felt more comfortable as I worked along the line, but during an extension project, a new engine was needed to help me out. And thanks to Davy Paxman and Henry Greenlee, in 1923, the new engine arrived to help me.
Michael, meet the new engine, Rex.
Oh, hello there. You must be Michael.
Michael gazed in awe.
Now, Michael, it's not nice to stare.
Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. It's just, forgive me, I've never seen a tender engine before. Is that what they're called? That is incredible. It's really nice to meet you too, Rex. So Rex helped out with the extension of their little line. 4 years later, I got a postcard from my sister, who was renamed River Ert, and she too became a tender engine. The manager also wanted to have a word with me.
If you're going to travel along the extension part of the line, you're going to need a big upgrade appearance. Perhaps it could help with your shy steaming problems.
Michael glanced at the postcard, and an idea fluttered into his funnel. I think I know the perfect rebuild for me, sir. About a couple months passed, and Rex was in for a surprise one day. Michael emerged from the little workshop as a different-looking engine. Ta-da! What do you think, Rex?
My goodness, Michael. Is that you?
It sure is. I'm a tender engine like you now. And if it's all right with everyone, much like my sister, I too would need to consider a new name for me, if you please.
Wow, that's a lot of changes. New name. How about Robert?
Robert? I don't know. Kinda doesn't sit right with me. Robert. Wait, hold on. How about Bert?
Bert? You know what? I like it.
And so was done. Bert it shall be. Then the following year, in 1928, Rex got himself a little modification on his tender.
Check it out, Bert. I got a modification too. Look at my tender. I think they call it a Pountly steam tender, something like that.
The two tender engines continued co-working on their little railway for the next 4 decades, until eventually, in 1966, there were now 3 engines. Afternoon, Rex. Say, I just noticed. You're back into your old self.
Yeah, the steam tender was a failure, but the chassis was not gone to waste. It was given to a new engine on the railway.
A new engine? Who is it?
Oh, speak of the devil.
I told you. If I told you once, I told you at least 100 times, I am not Rex. Did you see my nameplate? It's Mike, for firebox sakes.
Huh. He seems fun. Eventually, the following year in 1967, dark times came for the railway.
Sir, what's going on?
Everyone, I'm afraid business is running dry on this railway, all thanks to dieselization and Dr. Bleaching's axe.
No, sir, we're not going to be abandoned, are we?
Abandoned?
I would never dream of it. The lot of you are in good hands. There's another miniature railway being developed at the Arlesdale Railway on the island of Sodor, and you all are going to move there.
The engines were delighted. Well, almost all of them. Mike, is everything all right?
I don't know, lads. It just doesn't seem fair to me. I've only worked on this railway for a year, owing to work that I dismayed. This railway was my wood. Who knows could be out there? I'm a little scared.
You know, Mike, I felt the same way when I left my old railway. Let me tell you something that my father once told me. I know that change can be scary, and there's lots of unfamiliar things in the world. But sometimes, when the going gets tough, you have to adjust yourself to these new changes, so that way it'd be more easier and bearable to live in. And additionally, as long as there's somebody out there who truly cares for you, you'll always find yourself at home. When I came to the railway, I was in good hands with this manager here. I made good friends with the workmen and Rex. And I'm pretty happy to meet you. Even though you get annoyed with passengers, we always make sure that you feel a little better after a hard day's work. Everyone beamed with delight.
That's the spirit, Bert. I'll contact some lorries to send you to a transfer yard and we'll work from here.
Sir Arthur Haywood would be so proud of you, Bert. Stepping out of your comfortable bubble and braving new things life at you.
So, in 1967, all three of the miniature gauge engines were moved to Sodor. Mike was dropped off at Crovan's Gate Works to be repainted, while Rex and Bert were introduced to the Arlesdale Railway, along with 2 blister diesels and their new controller at the time.
Hello Rex, Mike and Bert. Welcome to the Arlesdale Railway. It's here where you'll be bringing passengers down the line as well as extracting some ballast from the mines for tracks.
And here we stay on this little railway, making new friends, doing our jobs properly. We've had some great adventures and stories to be told. And it was all thanks to me trying something new. I honestly don't know where I would have ended up had I not stepped out of my comfort zone and tried something new. And the other engines wouldn't have wanted it any other way. Now sure, time can move on for all of us, and change can be scary. You may not always look for that light at the end of the tunnel, but sometimes, if you travel a little deeper, you may find something